Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the Schmoes know, this is Meet the Movie Press, roundtable movie news and commentary from the industry's premier film journalists.
Happy Friday, everyone. This is Meet the Movie Press, and yes, top premier movie reporters.
The most premier.
I like lost my mouth. See, it's Friday. It's 9 a.m. Well, 5 past 9 a.m. on a wonderful Friday, and this is Meet the Movie Press. Thanks for joining us here on the Popcorn Talk Network. I am Mark Reilly, editor-in-chief of schmoesknow.com.
Jeff Sneider, film reporter, TheWrap.com.
Awesome. How are you doing, man?
I'm good.
Big week.
Yeah, it was a busy week. Kept me on my toes.
Yeah, I know.
Lots of fun, exciting stuff to talk about.
We are going to talk about a lot of stuff, and we are going to do a hopeful news break, the Prestige edition, as I call it.
That's right.
You guys are awesome, because I said, hey, let's just do something different and no superhero or Star Wars movies. And you guys, like, 300 comments or something like that.
That just proves that they actually listen to the show.
Yeah, I know. I like it.
This is amazing.
It's really cool. And we have an awesome guest, somebody that I wanted to come on for a while, and then thankfully she tweeted us and reminded us that she's at a new awesome location. It was perfect timing, and it is Krisily Kennedy. Why don't we get her in here?
Do it.
Let's do it. Krisily Kennedy, editor-in-chief of the movie Chickk, and so many others that we're going to talk about.
If I can do this gracefully, because I'm not graceful. Hi, guys.
Put those cans on. You can hear the applause.
I got it. Yeah.
I always say the
movie
applause.
Chick, I like it.
Good morning. With 2 Ks like me.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you doing, Krisily?
I'm doing. It's really early.
It is really early. I know. We were going back and forth, and she's like, oof, 9 a.m. I'm like, yeah, I don't know how we do it every
And then I
every
stepped
Friday.
in dog poop because people clean up after your dog.
I was
almost
actually
late.
just about to say it actually smells nice in this room for once.
Yeah, right? Well, it's because, well,
feminine
Cleaned that.
touch.
I cleaned that.
yeah, you sent me a DM. You're like, okay, I'll be there a little late. Stepped in dog poop. I was
So
like,
mad.
all right. It happens.
tough.
It's a disclosure. Everyone pick up after your damn dogs.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, look at this. Everybody is jumping in on the live chat on youtube.com/popcorn talk. And you can drop in what you want to talk about. Say hi. And yes, I love her, says Jasmine.
Woohoo. Thanks, Jasmine.
Yeah. So talk to me about, let's start with themoviechick.com. How did that all come to be?
It started over a year and a half ago. I was at AMC and I was just kind of saying the news, and then the rest of the team would talk about it.
Okay,
and,
that's right.
And I would be in the chat board similarly chatting with everybody. And one day somebody was like, "Where's the movie chick?" And they were like, "Who's the movie chick?" And they were like, "Krisily." And I was like,
That's
and
good.
then I would get a lot of people that were just like, "We really want to hear your opinion. You never really get to talk. We want to see what you have to say." And so I started the website as just kind of a place to go for people to know what I thought. And then obviously I left AMC and continued to build up the website and then joined Regal. So I've been doing the website full time and Regal part time. So
That's awesome. And,
Yeah.
and
Great.
you've found advertisers and sponsors to support.
getting there. We're getting there. But I brought on an awesome writer who started about 6 months ago with me, and she's great. And we're looking to expand the team, and we're going to start doing a weekly female news show, which I'm
Okay.
super excited about.
I like
So,
that.
Yeah.
We were talking a little bit about that off air before this, and I was like, oh, that's really cool, because this is a predominantly male thing.
It is.
And I love it when we actually get to bring on awesome women to talk about the news, because you like movies
I
and
love
news.
movies. Girls love movies.
And I'm glad that you got to talk about AMC, because I saw some chats here, sorely
Yeah.
missed on Movie Talk.
Yeah.
What happened with AMC? You were missed, so it's good to know. You're like, if you. Yeah, a lot of people on AMC found the Schmoes through AMC and then came over, so that's great. So you can follow her over to the Movie Chick.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
And what I found out was there are no female news movie sites out there. There's a lot of mommy blogs, but I'm not a mom. I mean, I am, but my kid has 4 legs, so it's
good.
a little bit
Yeah, yeah.
different. And there were no female news websites out there that were just women talking about film, and women love film. And not that there's anything wrong with fine gentlemen talking about film, but
No.
I just wanted to kind of give a place to go for guys that want to listen to chicks talk movies. So
I like it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out.
You're going to have to come on our show, and then you can be the one guy with all the chicks.
Okay, I'll take it.
I
mean,
I want to do that too.
Of course.
Okay, good.
We'll just have we'll have a rotating spot of like who's the meat that we're going to pick on that week.
Oh, nice.
Because we're usually the meat
Did you
on
say,
your show.
Oh,
I
the
did.
meat.
I
That is.
did.
You know
I totally
what?
said it.
Absolutely. Turn it around. We were talking about Chris Pine in Wonder Woman last week, and he is the meat.
Yeah.
In that here's a pretty boy next to Wonder Woman. He's the love interest, and I love that. I love spinning it around. Well, that's awesome. So we're gonna talk some news, right?
Let's do it.
I mean, should we just like go right to it?
Yeah. What do you want to start with?
I want to start with The Rock in The Big Trouble in Little China.
Did you like that one?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
I love The Rock.
Yeah.
I love The Rock. I am so upset that they're remaking this because that movie was a bomb when it came out, and it developed a cult following, as it should, because it's brilliant. It's one of the movies I grew up with, and it makes me sad. This is the first thing I thought about when they said, "Oh, we're remaking Big Trouble in Little China." That was at one point a sequel to Buckaroo Banzai. Okay. And they're like, and then Buckaroo, they're like, who? What? No, we're gonna alter a little bit, but it was so wholly original and just a product of the 80s. And now they're going to remake it because of the brand and missing out on a beautiful original film, maybe like that similar theme or fun. And they're not going to make it because the original movies are dying. And I hate it. And I hate that they're going to remake this. It's not going to be good. Love The Rock. Hate it. What do you guys think?
There were a lot of strong feelings about this. I'd like to hear what Krisily thinks before I weigh in.
I feel like The Rock hasn't done wrong in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. I agree.
And I have a love-hate relationship with remakes. Like, it's true, the original isn't going anywhere. But if the remake is bad, it does kind of leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Sure.
And it makes you appreciate the older one better. I actually would really like to see Rock in this. I think it would be really fun to see his take, and I think that adding The Rock to anything makes it better.
Yeah.
So I broke this this week.
I love it. And I love that you broke it, dude. I hope you know that.
When I heard it, I had to like pick my jaw up off the floor, and
Okay.
I literally I sped back to the office, and I just like left the car in the middle of the parking lot, and I sprinted in. I was like, I've got a monster.
Yeah.
And it, fortunately it panned out quickly. But so here's what I think. I mean, I ended up watching Big Trouble in Little China later that night.
Oh, nice.
It is a product of its time.
Absolutely.
Which is a good and a bad thing.
Sure.
I love the practical effects. The movie was ahead of its time, too.
I agree with that.
It was definitely one of the movies that I grew up on. I love Kurt Russell in it. The movie's fantastic, but is there room for improvement to do it right in the modern age with the VFX of today? Yes. And I think that if it is going to be remade, then who better than The Rock to fill those big shoes of Kurt Russell's as Jack Burton? And from what I understand, that is the direction that it's going to go. It's going to be like a straight remake, although a sequel would have been awesome. Pairing those guys up and call it Bigger Trouble in Little China.
Ooh, so nice.
That would have been cool. But I think if they were just doing a straight remake, pair him up. The title's great. I mean, it has China in the title. That's what everybody wants to be a part of right now.
Absolutely.
So
it's a good business decision. It's
makes
great.
sense.
I understand it.
It's one of The Rock's favorite movies, from what I've been told.
Yes.
So you think that there's going to be respect for the source material?
I'm okay with that. I agree with all of that. It's just what you said. I would love to see the sequel. Just go back to that world, Bigger Trouble in Little China, bring Kurt Russell back in, and that would be fun for me. I could get behind that. It's the remake that I don't know. But everything you say is so right. I'm so with you.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see a Kurt Russell cameo.
Oh, sure.
That would be really cool. I mean, in watching it again, Kurt Russell's delivery of the lines, it's very special, but you can also see The Rock doing it and doing it well.
I know. It's so funny because I agree with all of this, and I adore The Rock. He is just fantastic, and it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just so protective of my Big Trouble in Little China that I watched it as a kid, just going, "This is insane! I have no idea what I'm watching, but I love it."
I geeked out this week because The Rock called me a ninja on Twitter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was a high compliment.
I might frame that if I were you.
Oh my
might
God.
too.
I would print that out and frame it.
Yeah, you're like, I'm never washing my Twitter again.
Yes. So yeah, I know that it was met with some conflicted feelings. I knew that it was gonna like blow, and it led our site for like 2.5 days.
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna blow up because that movie's so beloved.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I'm just so.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of speechless because
it was going to happen though eventually, and I do think I think it was Drew McWeeny who sort of pointed out, and maybe aside from Elvis, all those John Carpenter, Kurt Russell movies are probably going to undergo the remake treatment eventually.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of 80s movies will.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of the trend, and that's just kind of why I wish
and again, it bombed. No one really saw it in theaters, so this is
it happened later.
Another chance.
Yeah, I suppose.
Maybe they'll get Carpenter involved as like a consultant or something.
I hope.
Producer.
It's good, but is Carpenter? Did you hear anything? Just like nothing. So Carpenter's probably sitting at home going, "You son of a bitch, motherfucker." No. I mean, because they tried basically. The Thing was a remake, just a direct even title, The Thing, but it was a prequel. So, I mean, they tried that, but just didn't kind of work.
The Thing was terrible.
Yeah, it was. I didn't like it. And so, I mean, and we've already got Assault on Precinct 13 was remade.
Right.
And that was a pretty good one, actually.
Yeah,
I actually
it was one
liked
of the better
it.
ones.
Yeah. But yeah, what's next from the John Carpenter repertoire?
We will see.
Yeah, we will see.
Up next, we've got James Wan closing a deal for Aquaman.
Yeah.
And Robotech, apparently.
Is Adrian Grenier going to be in it? Because that's all I need to know.
I have a feeling he will not, but that would be funny if they threw him a cameo.
I think it would be great for a little nod. It's Warner Brothers. Why not? That's Entourage is there. Yeah, Krisily, what do you think of James Wan? Are you a fan of his? And
such a fan of James Wan.
God, yeah, me too.
And I'm not. So I saw my first horror movie ever in full last 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Okay.
I am not a fan of horror. I'm not a fan of being scared.
Okay.
I really
We could
like.
never be together.
It's I'm so disappointed. Like certain movies I can take, like The Call, for instance.
Sure.
Loved that movie just enough to scare me, but not enough.
Wait, The Call?
Yeah.
What's The
Halle Berry?
Oh,
That's not the title of that, is it?
Is it not The Call?
Is it? Maybe it is.
Well,
I forget.
I could be wrong.
I thought it
the
was.
Halle Berry
wasn't
one?
it, she's in a
She's a
in
911
cab?
operator.
You're right.
Oh no, yes,
No.
right.
Yeah, you're
It
right.
is.
You're
It's
right.
an- I'm like, come on now.
I was like, wait. Is
I
that...
know my movies.
Sure, no.
Yeah, The Call.
The
Right. I was
WWE
thinking
production.
Of it, I was thinking of it because it was called The Hive originally.
Oh, was it?
Right.
Which
yeah.
makes no
Which
sense.
is the 911 operating center. They call it like The Hive.
okay.
I apologize.
Ooh, I like
Continue,
that.
please.
So
please.
anyway, movies like that, I like that kind of scare. But I'm not a horror fan by any means. And I just saw Insidious 3 in the theaters. So it's not only the first horror film that I'd ever seen, but the first one in the theaters. I did wear earplugs because I am a wimp. And I loved it. But
What would I think if I looked over and saw you with earplugs in
She's
the
I have
Yeah,
long
you're-
hair,
she's
you
like
would
this.
never know.
Yeah,
You would never know.
That's
true.
So you didn't see
But
The
then I
Conjuring?
did go back and watch the first and second.
Okay.
No, I did not see The Conjuring. And I just think
that'll
James
get
Wan
you.
is masterful no matter what he does, no matter what genre he takes on. I think that he's just an amazing force.
Yeah.
So I'd really, really like to see his take on Aquaman. I don't know a lot about Aquaman. It's the one character that I'm not super...
They released a little synopsis with the official announcement or whatever. And it was,
they did?
Yeah. Didn't you see it?
No, I missed that.
I didn't see that
See that
either.
bit?
Doing a lot of
Like, I didn't
juggling
see that
lately.
either.
Yeah, I love to hear that you love James Wan, and I when I saw The Conjuring, I am a horror guy, so I love horror movies.
That, I would have never slept again.
Yeah, The Conjuring, you're smart. It is scary. It's
And I
one of the
thought-
scariest movies I've ever seen.
I thought Insidious was the same way, like the first and the second. But what I loved about those films and the way that he worked with Lee Wanell, that's his name, I think, the writer, was the way that they were able to kind of, from one to the next, just, I mean, they went back and forth, and the story, and it was just an amazing thing to see, and to know that he, helped out on the third, and he just, no matter what he touches, he makes it bigger and better.
Yeah, where I decided that I truly am a fan of his was after Fast 7.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because I went in knowing that he's the horror guy. He
Right.
floored me with The Conjuring. screen. And I walk into Fast 7 and I'm like, all right, let's, hopefully
See what he's got.
And he's got a great visual style. I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. It was exactly what it was advertised. It was just a fun ride. And I see his sensibilities for Aquaman. I think he's great. And Robotech too. I mean, this guy, I tweeted it out, and one of my writers did the story, and I was like, the geek life. This guy is like living the geek life.
Yeah,
he got Aquaman and Robotech and Conjuring going and Fast 7. This guy is hot.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's super hot right now. He has to do the Conjuring sequel.
Yeah.
Before he
Thank
turns
God.
his attention to
Because
Aquaman.
I want the Conjuring sequel.
I don't.
No?
No.
I hear it's going to be about Amityville. The Amityville possession.
I've
I've
never seen that before.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I heard.
I haven't either.
Sorry, and Robotech, same deal. Some anime series from the 80s, like.
I'm aware of it.
After you do Aquaman, go do like a serious movie, a real movie.
I'm down with that.
What is all this fanboy properties in a row? Like we need to. It's like people are just stockpiling this shit, and really, half the time these directors sign on and then they fall off, and then they still have a producer credit.
Right.
So it's just give me a fucking break.
there's a lot of them. I mean, we talked about that, like the indie director coming out, like Jurassic World, perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
They somebody makes this brilliant indie, and all of a sudden they're like directing a superhero movie next, or Jurassic World, or now
Not to mention, like if Robotech really matters to Sony, why are they waiting until 2020 to do it?
Right.
Because I mean, that's how long you're going to be waiting.
Yeah.
At least.
Forever.
So I don't understand these attachments where it's like, I'm going to make the movie 7 to 8 years from now.
Yeah.
It's so funny when you say James Wan doing like a serious movie, because I almost can't picture that. Not that I don't think that he'd be great at it, but I think what James Wan's really good at delivering is like the wow factor, whether it be in horror or whether it be, the Fast and Furious franchise. He's really good at delivering like that action, that punch, that wow. It's almost like I can't even imagine him doing like a dramatic movie, because I feel like he'd almost be bored.
See, I could see it off of his Conjuring work. Like, there's dramatic moments there that
For sure.
are like, the focus of Lorraine Warren and her husband in The Conjuring is really fascinating. There's some quiet moments there of their relationship. So I could see that.
And I feel the same way, and I didn't see The Conjuring, but in Insidious, I feel like the thing that I liked about that was the story, and was how there were those moments where it felt really real. But still, I think that I can't imagine him doing something.
Well, I don't know how we've had a conversation about James Wan without talking about Saw. I mean, I know everyone thinks of him as the Conjuring guy, and this guy. It's like James Wan is and
Saw.
I don't know if he always will be. Considering the success of the Fast movies, but he's the Saw guy.
Absolutely.
And Saw is awesome.
Yeah, you like Saw? Do you like the whole franchise, or
no, the original?
The original. I like the original.
That ending's one of the best endings I've like. I stood up in the theater and yelled at the screen. I was like, I can't believe this.
It was
great.
I'm working on a horror article, and I was like trying to poke holes in some of the horror movies for fun, and I tried to do Saw, and I couldn't.
I remember.
I was like, but wait, he did this? No.
So
it's good. Yeah, I agree. He's awesome.
Yeah, it's good for Aquaman. I like that Warner Brothers locked him down, and I would just like to see him kind of diversify his own.
I think
slate.
Yeah, I think a lot of people share your opinion. So would you and you like his visual flair?
Absolutely.
So he does deliver the wow factor.
And I'm excited for not another horror movie, because I will go see it.
Let's go from the men to the ladies.
Let's do it.
And talk about how Sofia Coppola left The Little Mermaid this week.
Sad. A little sad about that. Creative differences, correct?
Yes, isn't it always? I mean, I feel like Universal and Working Title probably should have known what they were getting into with Sofia Coppola, who doesn't take a lot of studio assignments.
Yeah.
So what I had heard, dating back to Sundance, was that she wanted to cast Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke's daughter.
Ooh.
Maya Thurman Hawke.
Ooh.
Who looks just like Uma.
Okay.
Very pretty young girl. She's like a model.
Yeah.
16 or 17, but obviously was not a commodity. And I think that they were constantly clashing heads about that and about the budget. Like, we could do the small Sofia Coppola version of this movie and cast Maya, or we want to do the big, a bigger version, more commercial version of The Little Mermaid, which is ultimately what I think the studio wanted. And they were pressuring her to like cast someone like Chloe Moretz or Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah. I read
from
that.
what I was told. So.
Yeah, and that makes sense because of the brand name, but we're not talking the Disney. Little Mermaid. We're talking the Hans Christian Andersen, right?
Right.
It's the Hans Christian Andersen novel or story. So I get that, and I would have loved to see the Sofia Coppola version. Do you
See,
Krisily?
I'm not mad at it.
No?
I think she's so hit or miss. I think that when she
Yes.
does things great, it's amazing. But
Yeah.
then there's some that are like I've not finished films of hers. I've walked out of films of hers. But then there's also some amazing ones, and I feel like with a property like The Little Mermaid, whether you're just a fan of the Disney and don't really know about, because I think the majority of the world knows Disney Little Mermaid, so they're going to be
Right.
introduced to this version of The Little Mermaid,
Right.
and it's already going to be hard for them because they're going to have the Disney thing in head.
Right, they're gonna have
And then you bring in
expectations.
Coppola, who has this very unique vision and very unique style of doing things. I think that would only hurt the film. So I would like to see a version of hers, maybe, but not for a big
I
budget
think
film.
it'd be interesting if Sam Taylor Johnson took over that movie, given Universal's relationship.
That's
with
right.
it.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, I like that better.
Still looking for another gig.
You just put that out in the ether. The internet
I
is
like
going
that
to
better.
go
a
Floating
lot
it.
better.
float that out there like a 3. I like it.
Lots of other director news this week. Dark Tower looks like it got a director. Nikolai Arcel, kind of a head scratcher.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You know, the Dark Tower is so. First off, is this going to be? Is it just? Are they just starting with the first book?
I don't know. I don't read any of Deadline's articles about the Dark Tower anymore because it's just so full of shit.
Thank you.
I literally just look at the headline. I'm like, okay, another Dark Tower article. I mean, this guy's been chronicling the development of this movie for 10 to 15 years. There's usually an article a year.
Yeah, remember when it was going to be a movie, then an
Yeah.
HBO series, and then another movie, and then another HBO series. I mean, that was batshit crazy to talk about.
I'll put it out there right now. I think that you're going to see that for a different Stephen King property.
Okay.
I'm not going to say possibly.
Okay.
Cable with a movie component.
But not
I'm
Dark
just saying.
Tower.
I think. I think that there's going to be.
No.
I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
I'm just saying that there's another Stephen King property that I think you're going to see that expansion of the universe.
Well, we got 11/22/63 over there on Hulu, so
true.
that's one of my favorite books of his. So yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, chime in, guys. I want to hear.
I haven't read a lot of Stephen King books for the same reason that I don't watch a lot of horror, because I enjoy my sleep.
Right.
But I do love the films that I have seen that aren't super scary. But to me, like you're saying with the one article a year, it just kind of feels like they're giving you a nugget of information a year almost to keep the property there. It's almost like they're just going to keep it in production so that they don't have to give the rights up to somebody else, but they have no idea what they're doing with it. That kind of feels more like
I mean,
what
it's been at Imagine for a long time.
Yeah.
They obviously have ambitious plans for it. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Right.
I don't know if it's like an option or an outright acquisition. I know that I never read The Dark Tower. I know it's considered Stephen King's sort of like legacy title, if you will.
I guess, yeah, I haven't either. I mean, I actually take that back. I read the first book years ago, and then I got into the comics when that came out, and that was fun. But yeah,
I mean, I know guys who swear by it.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised by Nick Arcel. He directed A Royal Affair, so he launched Alicia Vikander's career, and he co-wrote the original Dragon Tattoo, the Swedish version. But that's
right.
like it.
Yeah.
He's been developing a Rebecca movie, I think, at DreamWorks, but it was just like, I'm surprised they couldn't get a more geek-friendly director.
Right. Well, it's so interesting that they're, like James Wan is going to Aquaman, and, that makes sense. And then it's geek friendly, you say. I mean, I think his work on the original Dragon Tattoo, at least in writing, he's got an interesting way. But I don't know. I'm not crazy familiar with his work, and I'm not crazy familiar with the Dark Tower. So I'm just kind of like, all right, kind of with you, Chris. It's like, oh, here we go again. And
okay.
Jeff was like, oh, here we go again. Another news story about it. But
It's like the $6 Million Man. Every once in a while, you get this little nugget of information, but are we ever going to see it? Maybe when we have
we'll see.
grandkids.
There's a lot of projects that are sort of like that.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, so yeah. Any what do you guys think out there on some Dark Tower fans? The Stand, I know. That's it. That's another big one. The Stand, and the Dark Tower. Oh my God. Okay. That was funny. I don't know if you want to go back in this video and check something out. I just got a sign.
I'm just
From the heavens above.
it's been quiet on the stand front recently.
Yeah.
I've heard that there's big stuff going down.
Yeah.
I heard that big stuff is not about casting.
Okay.
I've heard and they already have a director. So if you have a big thing going down, and the director's set, and there's no casting, what could the big thing be?
I know what it is now.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Some of you here on the live chat also know what that means.
know what it is.
That's because you're smart, guys, and this is awesome. So
Yep. Don't get me in trouble.
no, everybody's gonna run with it now. There's gonna be like Jeff Sneider from the Wrap on Meet the Movie Press said this.
We'll see. I wanted to talk about one of your scoops, Mark.
Yeah, let's do it.
Big Mark Reilly whipping it out, slapping it on the table.
Yeah, and that's
Star Wars.
It's not me actually. It's my good my writer Liam. He had a source. We vetted it. We checked it. Christian and I talked about it at length. This went for a couple days, and then
You dropped it.
we dropped it.
So it was about how Han Solo is going to be part of like the Boba Fett that next spin-off movie.
Yeah, it's Boba Fett and Han Solo.
And Jon Favreau and Matthew Vaughn are the guys that they are courting to direct.
We've updated, and we don't believe that Matthew Vaughn's doing it. Not that it's a total out of the question, but just kind of we had to alter it a little bit. We talked to some other people, kind of fleshed it out, and we were like, we're not with that anymore. But Jon Favreau is something that Liam has been hearing a lot, and Liam, my writer, his source has been talking about. So Krisily, are you a Star Wars fan first off?
I am.
Okay. What happened? Oh, hey! I love it. What does it
Throwing
say?
that out there. Rebels rule.
You're talking about the Rebels, the TV series.
No, I don't watch the TV series, but I just like that it said Rebels rule, and I got it from Comic-Con.
You are a rebel.
Because I'm a rebel.
I was thinking about
love Star
Sabine
Wars.
because she spray paints in the Rebels show. So But
and
anyways,
I like none of anyone I know. I didn't mind the prequels. I didn't hate them. I didn't love them. I actually liked Jar Jar Binks.
holy crap, get out!
I know.
No, I'm kidding.
The
I'm kidding.
reason
Please
why I
talk.
like Jar Jar
You were
Binks
sexy.
is because, for me, it was, there's a whole generation of kids that didn't know what Star Wars was. And for me, Jar Jar Binks was that character that got little kids really excited about the franchise and brought a whole new group of fans in to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So to me, that character kind of has a soft spot in my heart because it made like my little cousins love something that I liked.
Oh, that's good. I can get behind that.
It's nice to know that I could annoy the shit out of a woman and still she could find a place for me in her heart.
Yeah, absolutely. He's super annoying.
He's
Don't
very
get me
annoying,
wrong.
Jar Jar.
But little kids love him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we
Little
got a
kids
whole
love me too,
new
just
group of
ladies.
fans that we can enjoy this franchise with that are now super excited about these new movies as well. So.
Yeah. No, it's. I will say okay to that. I mean, at least you're right. I think you're right. A lot of fans came in with the prequels, and I have a lot of fans that talk about why are you these prequels, they're my Star Wars, what I grew up with, like my original trilogy Star Wars. So hey, everybody wins. It's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Favs though for a second.
Yeah.
I love Favs.
So do you though?
I do.
Do you?
I do.
Do I know if he's doing it?
So Favreau,
I've heard,
did a really good Iron Man movie, right? He launched Iron Man, and it became this huge franchise and kicked off like the current state of cinema.
Absolutely.
Iron Man 2, not good.
No.
Cowboys and Aliens,
Not good.
not good.
Chef.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Chef is great.
Yeah, but we're talking a different
I think Jon
game.
Favreau is better in making movies like Chef than he is making the big budget stuff. I do.
I agree because I love Made. Have you seen Made?
Yeah, I love Made.
Yeah.
Swingers.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, that was Doug Liman, but
Right, but he wrote it. But that started everything.
Listen,
so.
I'm excited for his Jungle Book movie. I don't know about Favreau doing a Star Wars movie. I think it could have some issues.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I wish. So from what all the rumblings are, is like the when Episode 7 was looking for the director, all those people in the mix are now being courted to maybe take over for Trank. Okay. That's all I've heard. And again, guys, this could change like at any moment. I mean, I was happy to say, hey, Christian was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's talk about this. Now, we didn't put it as exclusive. We were just like, this is just something that we've
I mean, I
heard,
think that people have put out the Han Solo Boba Fett stuff before.
Yeah, they have.
But
a lot of people
the director names were new, and I was excited by them. I think that they need to go after that caliber.
Yeah, and Favreau, I heard about like a month ago, like right after Trank was gone.
I keep rooting for Joe Cornish. It's a crime that this guy has not directed a movie since Attack the Block. Section 6 is supposedly still active and everything at Universal, but
yeah, Joe Cornish. I thought he was
this guy behind a camera.
I thought he was up for Star Trek at one point, for Star Trek 3.
Right, he was.
Yeah,
I think that may have been his decision.
Yeah. Well, you guys. So, Krisily, do you like Han Solo in a movie with Boba Fett?
Of course. I mean, I'm just excited for anything Star Wars at this point. Like, I just can't wait to actually see it. We've been talking about it for so long. Just give me it now. Like, I'm ready. The last trailer got me so excited. It was, a lot of nostalgia for us that love the originals. It was really great. For me, with Favreau as director, I don't mind it. I agree that I don't think he would definitely be my first pick at all for a Star Wars property. But what I do like is because he went from all these big budget films, then to a flop, then he went to Chef. I think what Chef did is it regained his confidence with him as a director because he was... it was the perfect pairing. Like, it sounds so silly, but he literally did get back to his roots of what he was really good at and doing something on such a smaller level. And I think he regained that confidence. So I would hope that he would take that into the next big budget because, Iron Man was great. The second one, I didn't mind, but I didn't, it was not the first one at all. So I really think that he could do well in a big property, but I would like to see him do something else first before a Star Wars film to know that he has it still.
Yeah,
he's got the Jungle Book.
Yeah, we'll see. We can see the Jungle Book and see if he still got it. I kind of blame Iron Man 2 on Marvel.
I don't put that on a level with Star Wars though. Like, I would like to see something else a little bit bigger with a little bit more action, with a little bit more special effects than just Jungle Book.
Well, there's no guarantee. This is just a name we've heard, and I'm kind of on both of your sides. I think he would be great. I kind of see what you're talking about. I think for Iron Man 2, for me, it was like Marvel rushing that into production because Iron Man was such a huge success.
That's fair.
And Cowboys and Aliens, another project that was just like, that was being made forever. I don't know, but...
I don't know how you mess up something like Cowboys versus Aliens.
Well, I think by making the aliens look like just regular, I don't know. I didn't. Right. And they're after gold.
Wasn't a good design.
It was weird.
Should we do a little hopeful?
Yeah, guys. So you guys, I love this. You always ask. You are starting to tweet. Krisily, we do this every week. It's called Hopeful News Break. And why don't we just do it up? Hopeful News Break time.
This is what we want to see in the news.
Yes, indeed. Every week, you can go on the Facebook page, Meet the Movie Press on the Popcorn Talk Network. Drop in what you want to see. You don't have to wait for my prompt. But yeah, we kind of put it out there to the fans. Like, what do you want to see? What would you hope to see? Would you go like, hey, I want David Fincher to direct a Star Wars movie? That would be weird. That'd be actually cool. That'd be crazy cool.
That'd be kind of amazing.
Now I want him for Boba Fett
Only if it
movie.
was like a Vader movie.
Yeah.
And Vader was like treated like John Doe or something.
That'd be
amazing.
Stormtrooper! I think I'm the man you're looking for. No, so guys, this week I wanted to do the Prestige edition, as we call it, where we've been talking a lot about it. It's usually been stuff like Spider-Man, stuff like Aquaman, stuff like, Star Wars. Tomb Raider, a big one. But I wanted to kind of open it up a bit. And right off the bat, Joshua Harris, you dropped a really interesting one that I liked and that Jeff can actually comment on. Any news on the George Clooney Hack Attack project?
So the Hack Attack project is moving slowly, from what I understand. I moderated a panel at Produced By over the weekend, and Grant Heslov was on the panel, George Clooney's producing partner.
Yeah.
So somebody brought it up because the panel was based on a true story.
Oh, nice.
And I was talking about, what are sort of the hurdles, the legal hurdles in making us, doing a movie based on a true story, particularly something like the Hack Attack thing. And so he said, I think that the problem right now that they're encountering is that everybody wants to be paid.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Grant and George have taken like this stance where like we are not going to like pay all these journalists from that paper and the Murdoch empire, people within that organization. We're not going to pay these people for essentially breaking the law.
Right.
So they are just trying to. I think that the guy who did Theory of Everything is writing the script right now.
Ooh, that's interesting.
And yeah, that's where they are.
Okay, that's great. So Joshua Harris, how do you like them apples?
Yeah.
Krisily, do you? So can you just say, because and for me too, I'm not completely familiar with the Hack Attack project. I know it's the Rupert Murdoch, you said?
Yeah, it's about, how, what was the newspaper that he owns over there? Is it The Sun? I don't even know.
Oh, yeah, The Sun.
That was hacking everybody's phones.
Right, that's right. Oh, man.
So it's, about invasion of privacy. I wonder who they would cast as Rupert Murdoch.
Ooh, interesting.
Who would be good? Like Brian Cox.
Oh, yeah. He's great. He's great.
Be interesting.
That would be fun. And, yeah, that's it. And maybe Clooney directing. Do you see Clooney maybe directing
I could
this?
see him getting behind the camera for something like that, too, because I think that it's an issue that,
he's close to.
Yeah, he cares a lot about.
Yeah. So, Krisily, you like that kind of action on the Hack Attack?
I
Would
do.
you just want to see that?
I think, yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of stuff that's been taken from real life events.
Me too.
I'm a big fan of documentaries. I love filling my brain with stuff like that. So I'm excited to see.
Although you think Hack Attack now, and you think the Sony hack rather than the phone hacking. But
yeah.
Well, that's cool. So
that's a good hopeful news.
That's a good one there. Yeah. So we got some more here. Let's see. How about any news on Scorsese's The Irishman that's supposed to reunite him with De Niro and Pesci?
No.
R.J. Hartigan. Nice one.
No.
Nothing?
Is the answer.
No?
No.
He's not doing it because he's got Silence coming out.
Who knows? Again, this is one of those projects that you read about an update from Mike Fleming once every 2 years.
Deadline with your hot news breaks.
So hot.
Nothing happening there. So sorry, RJ. That sucks. Yeah.
I haven't heard anything in ages.
And Fasai, my man Fasai, who I think I'm getting that right, Gareth Evans, the Raid, to direct Big Trouble in Little China.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Holy shit.
Love the
That's
Raid.
great.
Who
said that?
Fasai. Faisai.
That guy gets the gold star for the week.
Okay.
Gareth Evans directing Big Trouble in Little China would be amazing.
Okay, Fasai. Yeah. You do get the gold star. Now you got me excited. Yeah. And I was against it at the beginning of this. Boom. What do you think? Are you a fan of The Raid?
Love The Raid.
Okay,
The Raid 2.
Oh, I know.
Oh, so good. I mean, it's not meant many times that the sequel is just as good, and that sequel was amazing.
And my hopeful news break is that the remake of The Raid is gone. Well, we don't need it. Do you know anything about that remake anymore?
I have not heard about the remake of The Raid in a long time.
Yeah, and it's like because we don't need it.
The casting was all over the place from what I heard. They really liked Mackie for one of the roles. Mm-hmm. They really liked. I think that they really wanted someone like Harrison Ford. For the corrupt, the corrupt cop. Or whatever.
I could see that.
The lead, they were looking at Shia at one point. They were looking at Liam Hemsworth at another point.
I thought I heard Liam.
I don't know who they would settle on. I bet they would settle on a guy like Scott Eastwood.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, well,
or maybe Stephen Amell or something.
Mm.
But it is a good property to launch one of those sort of young action-y guides. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't think it's going away. I think The Raid is so great. But no one has seen it.
Yeah. I
mean, really, not a lot of people have seen it.
No, so. It's kind of a cult thing, It's like you have to be a hardcore movie lover, action, that kind of stuff.
There's just too many people in this country who won't see a foreign language film.
Yeah. So then why remake it? Just
because it's going to be English.
I understand that, but for the brand recognition of the name, it's if we're not having a lot. But maybe, you know what? You're right. Maybe it's The Raid, based on the acclaimed, foreign film, blah 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 blah.
Then again,
it's in English.
Dredd was very close to The Raid.
Very much so.
Plus, you had the brand on top of it, and it didn't do any business.
No, exactly. Well, that's a good one.
Speaking of remakes,
let's do it.
We're off hopeful news break, and now we're going to actual news that hit this week. And speaking of remakes, Sister Act. They're getting back in the habit.
No.
Sister Act remake. Come on, guys.
No.
I just got tired.
That's another
I fell asleep.
Yeah.
He started, and I was just
Krisily, take us away with this. What?
I can't. I just can't. I'm I can't even.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about this. Really? Why do we need a remake of this?
Yeah.
This is not like an 80s movie that people love. This is not an action. This is not exciting. Like, why do we need a remake of this?
Yeah.
Someone please explain it to me.
Explain it, Jeff. Explain yourself.
I don't know that I can explain it other than it's a brand.
happening.
It's a brand name.
It's a brand.
Yeah.
It's not like you've seen a lot of movies with nuns recently.
No.
Very true. Except the town.
I don't know. Right. I almost said the exact same thing. Right. I don't know. It was kind of a musical or no?
Yeah, kind of.
I mean,
remember.
they made it into a Broadway musical.
They
They could turn
lot.
it into a musical.
Yeah, that's
did.
what I was thinking, that they could, if they're going to remake it and make it the actual go balls to the wall and just make it a musical, fine.
No, they don't need an African American actress necessarily.
No.
It could be anybody who's on the run, because I think she was on the run. She was like in witness protection.
She was a witness protection,
But
yeah.
if they did cast a middle-aged African American woman, who would you like to see fill Whoopi's shoes? Fill Whoopi's habit?
Octavia.
Yeah.
Octavia Spencer. She would be great. I mean, I could throw a lot. Viola Davis. I could throw a lot out there, and I think it does a disservice to just, a black
you're right.
actress needs to do this.
You're totally right.
But I mean, yeah, I can see it.
Okay, the only way I'm going to get excited about this is if it's Melissa McCarthy.
That would be also pretty good.
I'm just
See,
saying,
that's
I don't want to see it, but if Melissa McCarthy's in it, I'm signing up.
Krisily, you get a gold star today because you made me excited for that, thinking that.
You know who I'd see it with? J-Lo.
Oh, dear.
I wouldn't
J-Lo.
go near it if that
After the
happened.
boy next door,
just love
I
her.
just don't know.
You didn't like The Boy Next Door?
Yeah,
Oh
no.
my God.
I love your mother's cookies.
Such a
Oh
great line.
God!
can't.
Wait, somebody said something very
That was
funny.
another one.
Loading Bar's sister act directed by James Wan. How would you be interested now? Okay, all right, that's a good one. That
Poor
made me
James
laugh.
Wan.
James Wan's like, I'm too busy. Stop.
We got like another 20 minutes or
Yeah,
so.
we got
15,
about
20
another 20 minutes.
Wanted to talk about a few things. So marketing materials and trailers and posters and whatnot.
Yeah.
Did you see the poster for the new Spielberg movie?
I didn't see it.
No.
Wait. His
Bridge of Spies
Bridge
with
of
Tom
Spies.
Hanks?
No. Where is it?
Okay, you Google it.
Yeah.
Just do Bridge of Spies poster. It was horrible.
Oh, boy.
I can't believe Steven Spielberg signed off on that poster. It's one of the worst posters I've seen in a long time.
I've
and
missed
Disney's
it.
marketing machine is like the best in the business.
Okay. I hope that's not the poster.
Bridge of
What I'm seeing over
Spies
there.
poster.
Oh yeah. there-
Oh, that's just stupid.
It's just his big face with like an American flag
Yeah.
and then a Russian flag. Like,
Yeah.
really? We can't do better than this for Spielberg and Tom friggin' Hanks?
Yeah.
Apparently not.
In the
It
shadow of
looks-
war, one man showed the world
It
what
looks
we
like a
stand
fake
for.
movie.
It does.
It kind of looks like, yeah. It kind of
does.
looks
It
like
doesn't
a.
look real.
It looks like a special miniseries event on AMC.
It just
Bridge
did
of
not
Spies.
inspire confidence, and it's depressing when a movie from Spielberg and Tom Hanks is not inspiring confidence.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're
Very.
I think the movies will probably be
I think
fine
it'll be good
and
too.
good, but yeah.
I've heard good things. I think like this is sort of the return of Spielberg. I've heard, but
Yeah.
that poster, man, you have got to come out of the gate better than that. I'm sorry, I don't care what studio you are.
Okay, well, how about posters? How did you see the poster for Everest?
Yeah, I mean it's a
It's-
fucking photo of Everest.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the trailer for Everest.
Thank
I think
you. That
Everest
was my segue.
yes, I have a whole list of trailers here to discuss. The Everest trailer I thought was great.
Yeah,
I think it looks
great.
awesome.
It
It
looks
made,
great.
it made me excited.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That cast is,
like,
is really
excited.
cool. Yeah, you haven't seen a survival story like that in a while, and this one's based on a true story.
It's a great
Sign
cast.
me up.
Yeah, I'm all over it. What else came out the trailers wise? Because we're all in
The
agreement.
99 Homes trailer's excellent.
Yeah, isn't it?
That one.
It's really good. I saw the movie Toronto last fall. It was like a solid B+ movie.
Okay.
I really liked it. I thought it was very good, not quite great.
Okay.
I think that the reviews were mixed positive for the most part. But
That's
yeah,
what I heard.
The trailer is crackling.
Yeah, it makes me want to see it. And, my writer did cover it. That Liam, who I mentioned, who did the Star Wars scoop, he covered it and said, yeah, it got mixed things, but look at this trailer. It looks awesome. I love Andrew Garfield. So
I think he's, my roommate asked me last night, like, do you think he's going to be around for a while? And I do. I do think he's going to be around.
I think he's got
an excellent.
He's got
an
silence
excellent
with,
actor. I don't think he's really a Spider-Man big franchise kind of guy. I think he's a more thoughtful kind of guy in the vein of like an Ed Norton.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think Spider-Man, he just got a bad hand dealt to him. He's a huge fan of Spider-Man, and it's just
huge fan.
I think that would have been his only franchise that he would have done. And but yeah, I think he's going to be around. He's Silence with Martin Scorsese and
Social Network,
Never
Let Me Go, the Red Riding trilogy. I mean, he's just even Lions for Lambs, which was sort of where he popped. Like he's very good.
He's very talented.
Yeah, and Michael Shannon, right? Is he?
So you didn't see the trailer?
I did not.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's a very timely sort of subject. So about the housing crisis and whatnot.
So you guys, we're here to meet the movie press, and you are all over the live chat board. I love it. Everest ending. The guy give his life for his friend. Well, we don't want to.
What are you doing here?
I don't even know.
What about Macbeth? Did you see the Macbeth trailer?
Yeah, I mean, Macbeth looks amazing. For me,
looks cool.
It looks really cool, and I mean, Michael Fassbender is just. I mean, he's the guy.
Yeah.
As long as he's not Steve Jobs.
Oh, you don't want him as too late. He is.
Yeah, I know. I just I don't think he looks anything like Steve Jobs.
No.
I have hope for that movie, but he looked much more at home in Macbeth, and the visuals look awesome. I like the music that they use in the trailer. Marion Cotillard is always fantastic.
She's the best. So, Krisily, you liked it? Did you see it?
I did. I love it. I love any kind of period films. I'm a big fan of that stuff. So.
Yeah, me too. And it's Macbeth. It's like the classic. I can't believe I'm saying it indoors. Do you know the Macbeth curse? You can't say the word if you're doing the theater play.
I did.
Or an accident will befall somebody.
Really?
Oh yeah. And I remember seeing Macbeth I went to USC, and I went to see the play of it, and no shit, a bar out of nowhere, Lady Macbeth is walking saying her monologue, and this bar narrowly misses her as it falls to the ground, and everybody just went, who said it? Who said, you in the audience, who said it? So I'm like, that's my old theater superstition.
That is crazy. I think that this will. It's been a while since we've had a good Shakespeare adaptation.
Yeah, and I'm glad they're not doing some kind of like, the modern version.
Right.
No, me neither. And I'm excited about this too because I feel like it'll bring a lot of new fans, and I see a lot of people, like a lot of the fanboys and stuff, being like, oh, Shakespeare, whatever. You know what? And Steven's in the room today. He'll agree with me on this. If you're a fan of Sons of Anarchy, you're a fan of Shakespeare. Like, you may not know it, but you need to go see this. Like, you need to go see it because that's where a lot of Sons of Anarchy came from.
That's
like,
a great
if you're
call.
a fan of some of those things,
Yeah.
like Steven and I did the show together. I mean, there was so much Shakespeare in a series like Sons of Anarchy, and a lot of people that watch these series and these comic book things, they wouldn't think twice about going to see a film like that.
Right.
And they need to, because it's where so much comes from.
That's a great call. I never got into Sons of Anarchy, but I mean, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, we're talking, Oh, is that
That's
Sons
the
of
music.
Anarchy? Okay.
That's the music.
I'm like,
he's like,
hey,
what's
he's
happening?
just scoring our talk. I'm just like, I never really got into it, but
Did you guys see the new Mission Impossible trailer?
I didn't see it yet.
I did.
I was on the main show last night celebrating 200 episodes. So
Congratulations,
awesome.
by the way. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Yeah, it's really cool. So I know it came out during the hoopla of that, and then
it looks cool. I've always loved that franchise.
Yeah, me too.
I liked what Chris McQuarrie did with Tom Cruise and Jack Reacher. I think this one's going to be cool.
I can't wait,
So
and because Valkyrie was on the other day, and I caught that again. Do you not like that movie?
No, it's fine.
Okay, I dig
I
that
wouldn't go
movie.
back and watch it again.
Oh,
Yeah, me neither.
It wasn't like a bad
it's
movie,
okay.
but it was fine.
I thought the same thing, and it just happened to be on HBO, and here I am watching it, and I got sucked in again. So there you go. What else? Cats and Jammers? What should we?
You guys have probably already talked about this trailer
Yeah.
because it's been out for a couple weeks. But
Okay.
what did you guys think of the Point Break trailer?
I
don't think Point Break looks good.
Did you watch the featurette as well, or just the trailer?
No, I didn't watch the feature.
I watched the trailer and I hated it, and I was so upset because Point Break is one of my all-time favorite movies. But then I watched the featurette, which I never usually watch. I usually just post it on the site, do a write-up, whatever.
Yeah.
I really liked it once I saw the featurette. I was like, okay, I can get behind this.
Okay.
It
Well,
was
they
really
explain what they're
interesting.
trying to do with, like, the
They
extreme
did.
athletes and
And
stuff,
they had
right?
all the athletes there, and they had the director, and they had Led Hamilton, who was on, who did a lot in the first one. It made me appreciate what they're trying to do a lot
I
more.
can appreciate it, but here's the thing. Extreme athletes don't sell movie tickets. And I'll tell you, that movie was already kind of fucked I think being, it hits on Christmas Day, which is week 2 of Star Wars.
Yeah.
It got fucked yesterday with Paramount, or the other day with Paramount moving Daddy's Home onto that date, which is the Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell movie.
That's right.
That is now coming out on Christmas Day. And yeah,
they're gonna bury this thing.
Yeah,
they're burying this.
I'm telling you, like I'm 99% sure that Alcon is going to have to find a co-financier for the Blade Runner movie after Point Break comes out. Between that and Transcendence.
Well, don't remake Point Break right now. I mean, it's like that was another call to arms.
I wouldn't be surprised if they move it at this point.
Keanu, exactly. And I think that they need to move Point Break. I think they need to move it probably to February.
Yeah, I think you're,
Keanu was like, he's obviously, he's so much fun in the original Point Break, but it's like a bad actor kind of fun.
Yes.
This guy, Luke Bracey, no offense.
Yeah.
Just looks like a bad actor.
I didn't really get behind the trailer. I couldn't see much from him.
He looks very wooden and stiff.
Yeah.
And Edgar, I like Edgar Ramirez a lot. I don't think is as necessarily magnetic as Patrick Swayze.
No one is.
Or even Gerard Butler.
Nor will he sell tickets.
No.
No, I think it's going to get buried.
I'll be very curious to see what happens with that movie.
And even if they're hoping for those, X Games kind of fans, that's still not enough fans to have a big opening weekend against which they're going up against.
No.
We still need to talk about Spider-Man before the show ends.
Yeah,
so where do we land? So on Saturday, the day after last week's show, Boris Kitt dropped a sort of testing story. And remember, last week we had closed the show by referencing an individual on Twitter who I had been talking to throughout the Spider-Man process, and he was like, I guarantee Asa is in Atlanta right now.
Yeah.
And we had also heard, he'd also pointed me to Tom Holland's like Instagram, and it was like a brand that had sent him a lot of products, and then someone from the brand said good luck in LA or whatever.
Okay.
So anyways, the two guys that we've known are going to be, are in the mix. We're testing, and then along with 4 other kids. Okay. The only other one I'd heard of, which was Charlie Rowe, who was on Red Band Society.
That's right.
And I have no idea what's going on. I really don't.
Yeah.
Because Asa Butterfield and Tom Holland are much different than like some of these 14, 15-year-old kids. Mm-hmm. One of them was like a little pudgy kid who was kind of adorable. But like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I'm tuned out. I'm going to be honest with you. This is becoming a little too much for me to care about anymore. I will care when they cast.
Yeah.
Like, then we can finally frickin' talk about it.
I think it has to be Asa Butterfield. Everyone who I've talked to throughout town is like, isn't it Asa? It's got to be Asa, right? I mean, he seems like the no-brainer, but I just don't know what they are trying to do with this movie. Like, if they want high school and they want each, a year of high school and all that, like, how do you cast an 18-year-old kid? You need a 14-year-old kid, and but then I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
I like the angle of Peter Parker in high school. I think that, they've always kind of sped past that, and he's out, and then he's Spider-Man, because that's the charm for me for Spider-Man is his balancing. I got a history test tomorrow, but I'm going to go, fight the Rhino tonight. That's always been interesting to me. So I hope they go that way. Krisily, are you tired of it too?
I'm on Spidey strike.
Okay.
I cannot watch another origin story. I can't. I will not go watch it.
Yeah.
I will not, there's no way I can sit through one more origin story. I do agree that I like the take of the balancing when he was a kid. But I'm on Spidey strike.
I like that. I like how you say that.
I honestly don't. I don't blame you. But there was one. So the casting stuff, even though that's sort of my bread and butter, I've really tuned out, and I know I'm not the only trade reporter who has. The director search is much more interesting to me.
I was just going to say, your thoughts on that, because there's a new name that popped up.
Right, so Fleming, he had done a short list like a week or two ago. Then you just pared it down. He says it's, who were the guys? It was Ted Melfi, Jonathan Levine, and then he added a really interesting candidate this week.
Yeah, and I forget.
And his name is John Watts.
Oh, right.
And he directed Cop Car, which I saw at Sundance, and I loved. I loved Cop Car. It's fantastic. It comes out this summer, and that trailer's out, so be sure to check it out.
Oh, yeah.
And he's working with 2 young kids in that
That's
movie.
right.
I don't know how old they were, 10 or 12 or whatever, but he gets great natural performances out of these 2 kids.
Okay.
Maybe that's why they started taking a look at him, if they want to go that young.
That's a cool idea. I need to see Cop Car. I've heard good things.
I've told everyone, since Sundance, like, keep an eye out on this guy.
Yeah.
There's not much buzz on him or really the movie, but it was a very cool genre exercise. It really was. Brought to mind the Coens.
Oh, cool. Ooh. All right, that's great. Yeah, I'm on Spidey strike too. I'm just kind of like, even with the directors, I like that actually. What you're talking about with Watson.
Jonathan Levine would be cool. And
I
he's
like
like
Jonathan
a Sony
Levine
guy, like to an extent at least.
Yeah.
But Ted Melfi, I really like St. Vincent, and Ted Melfi's cool, but I do not see him directing a fucking Spider-Man movie at all.
No, and this might be off. Well, it's partly topic. I'm intrigued by a comment that's saying there is a leaked script of Captain America Civil War. Is that true? Is that?
I have no idea.
Okay. No, Krisily.
I wouldn't read it even if there was.
If it's legit, I'm not touching it.
Nope.
And I don't want to read, Civil War fan.
I don't want things to be spoiled for me, even if it's fake or if it's not. Like, I'm not interested in that at all.
Yeah, I get it.
And then, just to close the show, because we got to wrap it up. I mean, the Transformers writers' room has now been assembled. They're going to start writing on Monday. They've got 3 women in the group, so good for them.
Yeah,
that's right.
Good for you, Paramount, and Michael Bay and Akiva Goldsman, and we wish them well, and I hope that they come up with an unconventional Transformers movie.
Yeah, I shared your article on my Facebook, and a lot of people were. I actually really liked the article because you were going pretty like, hey, where's the where's the diversity
when
here?
we published it, like the room was all white males when we published it.
Yeah,
I knew that they were hiring at least one woman.
Okay,
but they didn't want to go into it, so we posted.
Yeah, I like, and I do hope the Transformers just does something, because all the movies are awful. I haven't been a fan. What about you, Krisily?
Right.
Were you a Transformers fan at all?
I'm a huge Transformers fan. Played with them as a kid.
There you go.
The last one was terrible. The only thing that I was really excited about was that I got to see Transformers riding Dinobots.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
As bad as it was, I was still really excited.
A lot of talented minds in that room, so let's hope that they can come up with something better than the last 3 sorry excuses for movies.
Yeah. No,
so yeah, that's kind of it. We've kind of run out of time, Mark.
We have. Krisily, awesome to have you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Come in.
And
anything you want to plug? Where can we find you? All that?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Krisily and at the Movie Chick with 2 Ks like me. Check out the site. And there's so many good movies coming out that are a lot smaller. I just saw the documentary Amy and was so good and so moved.
Oh, nice.
And Love and Mercy.
I really want to see that. I've heard fantastic
things.
Go
see those 2 movies. So,
Thank you for those recommendations.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And then you're heading out to the Jurassic World junket, huh?
I am. I'm heading to go hang out with some dinosaurs.
Ooh, tell Chris Pratt we say hello. We love him. And Nick Robinson.
Yeah, please do.
I'm Jeff Sneider. You can find me on TheWrap.com, hoping to deliver a list of Ari Gold's top 10 quotes later today, which was very fun researching.
I love that.
And then, guys, I did want to plug real quick. Check out FantasyMovieLeague.com. I want to double check that that's the URL.
Fantasy Movie League?
Yeah, Fantasy Movie League. It's like fantasy football, but it's fantasy box office.
Okay.
And I've started doing just, I play the game, and it's run by Matthew Berry, ESPN's fantasy guru.
Yeah.
So they asked me to contribute a little column, and I'm still getting the hang of that.
I want to check this out.
Yeah, FantasyMovieLeague.com.
That's
I like it.
That's fantasy that I would do. I don't do fantasy football because I'm like, I don't want to lose.
It's the perfect audience to plug it to.
That's a great plug. Yeah.
FantasyMovieLeague.com. Find me on TheWrap.com. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
Yeah, and guys, as always, you can find me at RileyAround at schmozno.com. And please rate, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already to the Popcorn Talk Network. And this show, of course, Meet the Movie Press, as well as the main show, schmozno.com, and all the others profiles, box office breakdown, Marvel news, DC news. Yeah. We'll get the music going. But guys, thanks so much for... I know, I was like riffing. Is it happening?
The online broadcast
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.